Y'all got notes. Yeah, I came ready. I just came to argue.
Of course you did.
You don't start off arguing.
I'm on go.
Nah, where they at?
Let me see. I should have been writing down my notes
Our
too.
schedule, our season schedule. No, we want everything to be raw and authentic.
Oh, of course. I'm gonna make sure I watch it.
Okay.
My posts have been removed. Okay. I feel like Kanye. You don't got the answer, Sway.
I hope you're ready to get a little personal because
I'm gonna get real personal and just watch what I say because in 20 years I don't want my kids to find this. You know how
they'll
kids
be alright.
You know how kids be finding stuff that's going on with their parents in like the 6th grade. They be pulling stuff up like your mama was a stripper. I don't want nothing like that to come back to me.
That should be fine though. I mean, you did it. Don't do it if you don't want them to know. All right.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome back, guys,
to another episode of In Pursuit of Lux. It has been, this is our 3rd episode?
Yes.
It's our 3rd episode!
Well, technically
4, but we had
technically
a break.
5th.
Oh, yeah.
Technically 5th. But
I couldn't
y'all
even
get the gist since the relaunch and everything.
I've been recording.
Yes, this is the man behind the camera, guys.
Our favorite person.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Okay,
up?
he makes us look amazing.
Our editor.
My name's Lija. I'm not just the man behind the camera.
Well, yeah, but we were letting you know you're responsible for.
I'm your favorite shooter.
He is.
Okay.
Isn't that your Instagram name?
Huh?
Isn't that your Instagram?
Nah, I changed it. I sold that page.
Wow.
But this is our special guest for today, guys. We've been talking about a lot of controversial things, and we think it's very important to get a male perspective because we're pretty sure you ladies are at home listening to us like, yup, that's right. You don't got much to battle with.
And I came to defend us.
Okay.
Whatever. That's how we feel. Whatever. But let's get into first our mental health check-ins.
Yeah.
Okay.
How have you been? Like how has life
How's
been?
2022 treating you?
As a black man in America, all that.
2022 been great. I switched jobs. As soon as I switched, I got a promotion. Within a month of being there.
We love money.
To that.
Yeah. So that's happened with the 9 to 5, even though we hate 9 to 5s. But gotta get the money. With the video aspect, I have been getting a lot. Summer and fall is the season where I get a lot of bookings. Like I've been so busy. Our teacher could tell you.
So give them a little
responding back to
insight.
text messages.
I don't respond.
Give people a little insight. So outside of your 9 to 5, what is your business? Because you're an entrepreneur technically.
It's like, yeah, I'm entrepreneur. Me, I do videography. I do the recording. I do the editing for now. I've been speaking to a couple people, start thinking about building an actual team so I can do the recording. They can do the editing. I have somebody who wants to do the drone shots. I have somebody who wants to run the app. So it's like, as long as everything works out, I feel like it's going to work itself out. Like it's been working. I only been at this for about a year and a half, 2 years, and it's been booming.
And he's doing the damn thing, y'all. He's already booked for the baby shower, just so y'all know.
I just came back
He
from
be booked
Mexico.
for all the events. Okay, all family events booked.
I'm getting flued out, y'all. I'm just saying.
We may not fly you out. We may get you some gas to drive up. We
Won't got nowhere to fly you to yet. Maybe one day. How has your relationship life has been? Are you in a relationship? First.
I'm single.
Oh, you single?
I was about to say answer that very
big single?
carefully.
I'm big single, not entertaining anybody. But we gonna stop right there. Cause I don't want this to come back to me.
It
and
can't come back to you if you're single. What you mean?
Yeah, when y'all find something, they be like, oh, so if I start getting deep aspects of what my relationship, like, oh, so you went through that? You went through this? Oh, who was this girl? I don't want to answer them questions.
Okay.
Whoever I talk to new is you. That's it. Oh.
Well, if they watching our podcast and they feel like they need to come talk to you about things, it's a very simple, like, that was my past. I don't got nothing else to talk about.
How often do people really keep stuff in the past?
I tend
I'm a big advocate
keep it in
of
the
keep it in my
past.
past.
Like, that shit gotta go.
It gotta
stay right. I don't got
where
it.
it's at for a reason.
I don't.
But people still be fixated on your past. Oh, what happened here? What's this? What's that? Because they want to better understand you. And a lot of times, the better understanding, even there's nothing to understand here. It's over with.
Yeah. Like it was a lesson. And
it was a lesson, and I moved on.
It made you who you are now. That's all you need to know.
Everybody's so fixated on like I want to know my partner. Like you could get to know me now, the new me, the new character that I'm building, like who I'm becoming. You don't need to know. You don't really know who I was. Like maybe my history or how I grew up in my home and stuff like that. But relationships.
Your home is foundational to who you are.
Home is very foundational.
Versus like a relationship that's more so a characteristic or something new you picked up to add to your foundation. Yes. So the two are different.
Very. See, look, I'm talking with some knowledge over here.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't completely fighting.
Not yet.
But we really want to know, how are you? Because today we want to talk primarily to our men, and we really want to check in with y'all and get a sense of how you're feeling, especially our black men, because there's so many things going on in our country, around us, down the street. And so we want to know, how's your mental?
Let me see. I wasn't prepared for this, so I came to fight. But no,
we gonna get there.
Seriously, on a serious note, being a black man in America, being a black man in Patterson, whatever, I'm not gonna say it's an everyday struggle, but it does suck to know that like when you go outside, you have to be like on the defense, where it's like you don't have to go outside and then hey, I'm tough, whatever. You don't gotta act there, whatever. It's like sometimes you really gotta be that person, whatever, because you just never know what you can get into. Like I was talking to a couple of people literally a couple of days ago about this. Like I got a bad habit when I go outside. Y'all know when I go outside, I'm a good time. We gonna have fun. But if you ever catch me, I'm so used to when I used to go outside and someone's either gonna fight, someone get shot, whatever, and you just that mentality of having to be ready. Y'all will see me ball my hands up for absolutely no reason.
But like, you're just ready.
It's like I'm ready for what though? Like everyone's enjoying themselves, everyone's having fun. It's like it's just a really bad like habit of the mentality.
Not trying to be caught slipping.
Yeah, not getting caught slipping. And it's just like it happens, you know what I'm saying? Like thankfully though, I'm getting older and this has been happening a lot less when I go outside. It's more vibey when I go outside, but it's still happening in our community. And it's just like something that it's like a PTSD that I definitely have to grow up with. Whatever, when I used to go outside and how I used to live my lifestyle or how I used to be. Like I used to be everywhere.
I find that like true though. And I feel like we don't have a choice. Like black men don't have a choice. Even when you look at, I feel like we've had so many rappers this year that have died from violence. Like they could just be in their hometown and just chilling, and it's your life is gone. And everybody's young.
In the music is even crazy now. Like, everything is, like they disrespecting somebody that's dead, that from another organization or another group, whatever you want to call it. Like it's just so much disrespect. Everything about our music right now is disrespectful. I listen to way more soca now. Soca's just good energy, and there's so many people who don't really like listen to soca in this area
because they only know reggae.
They only know reggae. Yeah, it's like reggae. Now I love soca. I love me a good juve. Like I'm with the good vibes. So it's like I'm changing. I'm slowly becoming a new character. And I said the past is the past. Look how that rotates. The past is the past. I built up to my new character, who I'm still becoming. I'm still becoming who I am. Like I said, when it comes to work's working out. Thank God. Like that's. Hopefully, I got another promotion coming soon. I applied, and I was talking to a couple people. I won't say too much. I was talking to a couple people, so hopefully that works itself out. And same thing with my business. My business it's still been growing like nonstop. I'm still getting constantly booked. I'm raising my prices and still getting booked. I'm getting more quality clients. Like everything seems to be working the way it's supposed to work.
And we love that.
It should. So you touched on it a little bit about how to get you out of that sort of tense zone when you do step out the door, you've done certain things to just switching what you listen to. So what do you think it's going to take for our generation of men to let that tense and toughness go? And I know it's hard because it's a lot of factors, right, that we don't have control of, that are literally attacking us, our government, our law, the way we're policed. But
just our communities itself, like who we're going out, who we're around. Like our kids can't even walk down the street without seeing people standing on the corners and stuff like that. So
what do you think it's going to take for them or for y'all to be able to break that wall down a little bit?
It's a very hard question to answer. Just, I have no idea. What will it take? Like, we have communities, you know, we know Joseph. I'm not familiar with Joseph.
I don't think
the only one I'm familiar with is the one that was with Mary. That's it.
Okay. All right, so my boy Joe, he does the whole like Black Lives Matter thing in the community and everything.
And he
so
opened up a space.
We do have black men in our communities who are doing what was necessary to try to change things, you know, to make the necessary changes in the communities and the groups. So it's like we have programs for our kids and have something to do versus actually being in the streets and being on the corners. And even when you go home, you still see it. It's like just different parenting as well, where it's like the parents come in and where they see it like, you know, you don't want to end up like a corner boy or a D boy or whatever you want to call it, like so many different names for what it is. So you don't want to end up like that, and then just to show them different. Like even if it comes to sports, like kids are even playing less sports these days. Like they're so exposed to so much on social media. They're exposed to it on social media now. Like I feel like with social media, there was an era where everyone just did so many different drugs that I've never even thought about doing. Like all off the strength of never
joking.
Never. And I feel like that was off the strength of, you know, social media, like, and what their favorite artists were doing. So if their favorite artist is talking about killing people, what are the kids talking about?
Killing people. I feel like also in our communities, like back in the day, it was very much of this is a village. Like you could talk to my child if they doing something wrong. You can tell them about themselves. Nobody want people to talk to their kids nowadays. You look at their kids wrong, they ready to like. If your kid bad as hell, I'm gonna tell your kid that they bad as. I'm not gonna say they bad as. Like you need to straighten up.
You can't touch nobody.
Nowadays you can't touch nobody's kid.
Yeah, you can't touch your own kid.
You can't even talk to them the same time.
Touch your own kid. Word. You pop somebody. I used to get popped by whoever. It didn't matter if I did something wrong. I got popped. Yeah, I feel like the teacher popped me one time. My parents like, that's what you get. Like,
no, my mom gave my sister's teachers permission to pop them if they was doing something wrong. But they had that type. Everybody knew each other, so they were like, we know. You know what I expect from my child. Right. And if they're acting out of character, then you need to say something to them. And that's not happening these days.
Facts. Yeah. We had to make the necessary change. I don't know. We just got to keep our communities together seriously. Like just have the people like to be a leader no matter what, even if it's in the small aspect of it. You don't have to be a leader where you got 100,000 people following you. Even if you got 5 people and you teaching 5 people to do the right thing, you're doing what's necessary to keep moving forward. Like to keep our men out the streets, you know, teach them about jobs, teaching them about stuff that they don't teach us in school, about mortgages and stuff. I had to learn all that stuff myself. Finances, like the strength of having a credit card. What's the reason of having it, stuff like that. Like, just teach them all that versus like, oh, this is a quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick. Like you make this much money, like, and then teaching them about El Chapo, what they need to know about El Chapo for.
Right. Like, there's so many.
To not be that.
To not be that.
I do think this generation is more of they have to see it to believe that they could be it. And so I do feel like it's going to take more different kind of men to show the ones coming up that there's not just one type of man, and that it is okay to be different, and not even like in a bad way. Different is not bad. You get what I'm saying? Being on the corner, in my opinion, is bad. But that's just my opinion. But what are some things that you do to keep yourself mentally sane as a man?
I listen to gospel too. I listen to gospel. I haven't attended church a lot lately. I ain't gonna lie, I've been going to church. Got get stroked right here. I ain't been going faithfully, but I do go.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I do go. You know, I do. I have a very strong family. Like, I do speak to family a lot. I speak to my friends a lot. Like, a lot of times when I don't speak to my friends, like Tisha tell you, I do not call Tisha. And this is not on purpose, but Tisha called me, and then whenever my friends call me, because I have such a, right now I just feel like I'm in such a business mode. Like, I do kind of lose I don't feel like I lose my sanity to the point where I'm insane, but it's like I'm so goal oriented and goal motivated at the moment that my mental health might be a little messed up right now. Like, but when my friends call me, if she invite me outside, like, hey, you know, we going out today, I will stop working. Like, you know what? I need to take a break, because if they don't call me, I'm going to keep non-stop work. I'm always thinking about the next way to get the next dollar. So whenever they do call me, they don't even realize how much I actually do appreciate when they do call me, because I know I don't reach out. I know I have a bad habit of not reaching out. Whenever I try my best to pick up in that moment, if I'm working in that moment, I'm not going to pick up. But I will call you back. I always call back. I suck at texting. Don't text me.
Don't text this nigga.
Don't text me. I suck at texting. You will not get a response. I'm sorry. Like, you got to text me a couple times. But to me, that's what text messages is about. Like, when you send a text message, I will get back to you when I got the time. When you call me, I feel like it's either more urgent. It stops me in my tracks. Like, okay, this is way more important than a text message. Like, it's something that needs to be handled at the moment. So I'll pick my phone up. Texting, DMs, and
well, there you have it. Don't text Lija. Call him.
Don't text
if you need to reach him.
Don't send a voice note either. I don't know why I don't like voice notes. I do not.
Elijah don't like anything, so let's just stick to calling and calling only.
So wrong.
Well, Elijah came here to argue.
I came to defend.
And I don't know what he defended, but let's get into it. So I want to say our first episode back, we talked about, we hate the word, but being submissive and what it's like.
We don't hate being submissive. We hate the word submissive.
Okay,
because it's not a true definition of what we mean when we say that.
And then they define the word submissive.
You want the Google definition?
We're gonna have to define it again.
So, the Google definition of submissive: ready to conform to the authority of or will of others, meekly obedient or passive.
So I don't like the word authority, because last time I checked, ain't nobody over me besides God. And
I don't like the word obedient. Obedient is crazy. Like, he's obedient. What? Oh, she's obedient. Who's obedient? Like, nah, obedient is crazy, but submissive, and to me, like, authority, I feel like if you look too deep into it, then it's when it's like you said, like, what do you mean authority? Like, you ain't got no authority over me.
Well, I don't think we're not talking about the Google definition.
Right.
I think we came to that consensus.
Right.
No one's the owner of anybody or anything like that. So, like we say, for lack of better words, what would your definition of a submissive woman be to you? Because we don't talk about men and men submitting. I mean, that's very foreign. So
men do submit,
but that's not motherfucking ways. Because let's get into it.
Men do submit. Look, now I'm sitting up. Here we go, y'all. All right, the battle done started. So men don't submit.
Be careful now. You got woman to your left, woman to your right.
And I mean, he ain't in the camera. I got a gentleman over there. I feel like when the camera's cut, he gonna cut in. But men do submit. Women, I feel like if a woman does not submit to a man, that woman does not completely respect him. And
what is submit?
I say submit, I mean, just to me, submitting is like being open, like being completely vulnerable and allowing that person to be able to have some type of control over you. Y'all don't like the word control because y'all thinking too deep into it.
No, there's one meaning of control.
Y'all thinking too deep into it. So it's like when it comes to control, it's like, all right, I could be like, hey babe, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do that for me? I'm not saying do this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because that's crazy. If I'm talking to you like, yo, do this, who you talking to? Like, and it's like, hey, can you do this for me? Whatever. You're submitting in the aspect of love, and it's like, what's the word? I'm looking for a specific word, but you're submitting because of the vulnerabilities. Like, you know what, this person makes me feel a type of way. Like, he make me feel comfortable, or she makes me feel comfortable enough to the point where it's like, if they ask me to do something, I can submit and actually do what they tell me to do because I love this person in that way. Now, if you're talking about in a disrespectful manner, it could be very much like, I'm not submitting to anybody. I don't like the word. I don't like the definition. I don't like nothing about the word submissive. But in the aspect of, hey, you know what? We've been dating for a while, whatever. I might need, well, if we paying bills, or just figuratively speaking, like, hey, I'm short today. I need $1,000. Like, that's still submitting. Like, okay, you know what? He's short. I got him. Like, that's submission. It's like, whatever you need, I got you. You're not being obedient to the point where it's like, I'm telling you to do it, but you're obedient to the point where it's, you know, I can do this for you. And then vice versa. The same thing. If a woman asks a man to do something, hey, you know, I need this, I need that. He can submit of buying or whatever it is that, if that's what you need or that's what you want, he can submit and get that for you. That's all submission to me.
It's interesting that you label like the man being there for the woman as submitting, because I don't think that's what it's viewed as. I think it's viewed as like allowing the man to be the man. You get what I'm saying? Which is very different from what it looks like for a woman. It's not the woman being the woman. Do you get what I'm saying? It's very different.
So are we saying, just make sure we on the same page? You talking about like being like an alpha male and a whistle here, you know what? We're allowing him to be a man because he's a man. You don't think that's still a type of submission? Am I misunderstanding?
I feel like I understand how you're, like, I think it kind of is the way you're putting it, but as the world, they would never say, oh, that's he's submitting. Yeah. They're going to be like, he's being a man. Mm-hmm. It's like he's doing what he needs to do. Like, they're never going to say, oh, he's submitting to his wife or his girlfriend. They're going to be like,
he's labeled. But then if we get into the conversation of, you know, he's doing what he's supposed to do because he is a man. If we get into the conversation, and I hate this conversation too, of a woman, I saw it on Twitter last night, you know, woman cooking and cleaning, etc., whatever. It's like, I ain't no maid, you know, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. Like, what?
What you mean, what?
In reality, if you're saying like, oh, he's being a man and he's doing what he's supposed to do, Twitter's terminology would be, that's what a woman's job is. I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. I don't believe a woman's job is, oh, she's supposed to be cooking and cleaning. Because if I come home, even after working a 9 to 5 or working my business or whatever it is that I'm doing, working both, when I come home, if my wife, my kids is in there and I see my wife cleaning, my wife's not cleaning by herself. Yeah. I'm helping her. You know what I'm saying? If the kids need something done, I'm helping her. So I don't feel like that's just a woman's job. They label it as a woman's job because of how society was back then. Because men had to work because women couldn't work. So it was women clean the house, men work. It's 2022. Women work just as hard as men do at the jobs. Come home, everything is equal. They both come home from work. House is dirty, whatever. We clean the house. We need to eat. If you decide to cook, I could wash the dishes. Everything's a team these days in a different aspect. The team isn't, okay, you take care of the house, I work. The team is now, we both doing everything. So we try to be 50-50 as much as we can. Where I lack, you pick up. Where you lack, I pick up.
I don't think that mindset has been adopted by the mainstream man, honestly. I don't. I really don't. I feel like the way you think is very similar to what Tisha and I feel the roles should be in the house. But you can have a man up here saying, if I'm going to work and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you should be able to, I should have 3 meals a day. The house should be clean. My clothes should be washed.
And that could be
your pussy should be ready at the end of the night. Do you get what I'm saying?
That could be how they grew up, in the household they grew up in, and everything that mattered.
But I feel like it's even just like, now I feel like they want that. I feel like women have been we're so independent and we know what the hell we want in life. So they feel like if we were to come home and cook and clean, that their lives are easier. that we're putting that independency behind us. And I told my friend this the other day, I don't think, specifically black men, I think y'all, not y'all, you per se, but you guys, some of y'all,
like these.
Some of y'all really think like black women are too independent and we need to be well-rounded in everything. And if I'm a woman and I don't cook, that shouldn't be a problem. If I don't want to sit here and clean and I want to hire somebody to come clean for me, that shouldn't be a problem.
That ain't no problem. But we ain't hiring nobody. You can't cook. We go as it is because we both got cook. I ain't cooking every day. I ain't doing it every day.
But what if like
that's
she
the
doesn't
same
know how
thing
to
a
cook?
man would say
Right.
though.
Like what if she
about a
doesn't
woman?
cook?
I'm not. If he cooks and she don't cook, he could be like, I'm not cooking every day. Like,
but see, okay.
So I want a woman who can cook.
And that comes to where I say, once again, you pick up where I like.
Exactly.
So if he does cook and she doesn't, okay, what other way can we make this a 50-50 type of thing? Because I don't want to come home and feel like that I'm also doing everything else once I get home as well. Same
cook,
thing as she
washed the dishes.
And that's perfectly fine, but that got to be a conversation. Because I'm telling you right now, I wash the clothes, but I ain't folding them. I do not fold clothes. I hate folding clothes.
I'm at the point where I actually just prefer to drop my laundry off at the laundromat, have them wash everything and fold it, so when I go pick it up, I could just
gotta have to tell me what laundromat you do that at, because
oh my goodness,
I wash my own. I might just give it to him to fold and pick it up. I just don't like folding. That's one thing my wife gotta do. I'm sorry, she has to fold. I will clean the bathroom. I will wash the walls in the house, the inside and out.
He won't.
I'm trying to. I would do anything but fold clothes. I do not like folding clothes.
That's interesting.
Go look at my dresses. I promise.
That's
like,
interesting.
What? I'm surprised this ain't wrinkled. I'm saying.
So, back to your definition of what you feel a submissive woman is. Just being able to be open and vulnerable.
Real quick. Tisha said something. And I was holding my tongue because I wanted her to get it out.
Okay.
But she has, I can't remember exactly what it was, so I don't even know how to reference it back. But I do feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a recollect for all of us. Mm-hmm. I do feel like both sexes, male and female, are looking for relationships that they could be in where they do not have to do anything.
They are.
In 2022.
They are. We're looking, we want easiness. For females that cook, clean, do everything in that matter. And then females is looking for men that's going to pay their bills and fly them out.
Pay for the hair, the nails. It's just like want everything to be done. And it just seems, it's like unrealistic. It's really unrealistic. Like I said, once again, once everybody figure out that 50-50 is where it's at. If you don't like a 50-50 relationship, if you like somebody to be completely dominant over you where they paying for everything. Oh, you want your nails done, hair's done, you don't got to pay for nothing. Them type of relationship comes with they
always come with something.
They come with something. I ain't gonna call it a problem because you might like it. It might not be a problem.
They might like the problem.
They might like it might not be a problem to them.
But it's a problem to us.
But it's a problem to us because everyone thinks different. Mm-hmm. So, but everyone's looking for lazy relationships. That's what I call.
They don't want to. And relationships are nothing to be lazy. Like that's the wrong approach to approach a relationship with, because every single relationship requires work to function. If somebody's telling you that there's no work, the shit is easy, they are lying bold-faced to you. Like, they are lying. I feel like you could have people who have been in the longest relationships testify to the fact that relationships take work. I think everybody wants it to be so easy. I meet this person, we've been happy-go-lucky since day one. We get married, we have kids, we live happily ever after. Like,
that's not the case. And I said this the other day. There's people.
Be so many roads.
Yeah, and there's people who've been married for like 30 years and will still tell you they have to work hard every day to keep their relationship going. Like, you're not gonna walk into a relationship and be perfect. And no relationship is easy because we're not perfect.
Exactly.
Your partner expects things from you that you might not have been able to grow into yet. And vice versa. And if you're with a good partner, they want you to grow and they're gonna push you to grow, but that can sometimes cause friction too.
Some relationships, some people want relationships where they already got everything figured out.
And you don't.
And you don't. Some people want the relationship where somebody's making over 6 figures or whatever it is. And it's just like, realistically in 2022, there's a lot of jobs now because of this whole pandemic. Everybody quitting and becoming entrepreneurs. But it's like,
but
still,
even
realistically,
even with all of these jobs, they will tell you they're paying the basic package. Like, they're paying low.
Yes.
So how can you have these expectations? And my biggest thing is, be realistic about your expectations when you go on with a partner. If you want a man that's gonna sit here and tell you he gonna pay for everything, but he making $50,000 a year, how are you expecting him to pay for everything? And then you getting mad at him and you arguing, but for what?
You're looking at these Instagram relationships
Right.
that don't be real either.
At all.
Like, you have
Y'all
to be
in
able.
la la land with these Instagram relationships and then be so heartbroken. Oh my God, they split.
You don't know what's going on
gosh.
behind these closed doors. It's easy to smile on camera. What's happening behind those cameras?
It's not easy.
I do feel. I mean, there is a thin line between having a relationship that's literally hard just because of you trying to figure stuff out, and then being in a hard relationship just because it ain't a good relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a line between there too. So you can end up thinking, you know, they said relationships is hard, and the whole time you're in a relationship you shouldn't even be in. Versus a hard relationship where you are working together and just figuring it out like that. I feel like in that aspect, when it's hard in that matter, and you guys are working together to figure it out, even though it's hard, like, okay, you know what, y'all not giving each other a hard time, y'all figuring it out. You might be uncomfortable, this person might get upset, but when they're not disrespecting you, to me is when I feel like you found a relationship that is worth working on, worth staying in. Like,
I think when we mean hard, we mean not hard. It shouldn't be hard all the time. Like, it shouldn't be a consistency of hardships. It should be a balance of, or you should at least be able to look back on y'all situation, relationship, and say, okay, we had some good times. Like, it wasn't always hard. We don't want y'all to go into a relationship and think every single day you have to fight. No. Or you're gonna struggle.
Because if you in that type of relationship, you gotta leave. You have to, or you have to take a break, take a step back, and really say why, or how did we get here? Because I think some relationships, like, y'all been good for so long, and then you end up arguing every day, and you don't know why, but y'all continue to sit here and be combative instead of taking a step back and saying what turn happened that we're now sitting here in each other's face like this.
I think the biggest part is disrespect. Once the disrespect starts, it's time to go. There's other things that happen in relationships, but if that's happening in a relationship at all, if it happened once, it's going to continue happening. You can say something, you know, I don't like that. And then if they try to play on your ego, like, oh, you sensitive? Because that happens to men a lot too. Where you could be in a relationship with a girl, then you talking to her, then she's sitting there playing on your ego. Oh, you can't afford this? Or you can't do that? Like we talking about, you know, with these relationships that real Instagram relationships. Or, you know, like, if it's, oh, when you go outside, you do this, and they, you know, just playing upon your ego where they just completely trying to disrespect you.
I think, like, even for black men, though, I feel like sometimes when y'all do get into those arguments, sometimes women they try to come for your manliness.
They definitely do it.
If they're not picking at your money, they just picking at certain characteristics.
They find
of
things
you,
to pick at.
Even if you have like a sensitive moment, they like picking at that too. So I think it's harder for you guys to try to not be combative, because once they start getting disrespectful, you don't want to be disrespectful back sometimes, but feel like I'm gonna say something.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I'm gonna be very quiet. And then when you stop hearing from me, what you do? Oh, you no, I'm not sensitive. I'm not sensitive at all, but I just realized that you had a habit. I told you about it. Didn't like it. You continue. You're not gonna disrespect me. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I could sit there and call you out your name, but now if I'm calling you out your name, I'm just as disrespectful. I'm not gonna return that energy. I've been in those relationships. Clip for that. Nah.
I'm glad you crossed that bridge, my brother.
Been there, done that. It just gets you nowhere. You stay in it. You stay in it, and then now y'all disrespecting each other. It's like whack. But yeah.
Alright, Let's reel us back in. But one question before we do move on from this. Because we talk about the woman a lot when it comes to submissiveness, but what do you think it's going to take for men to create the environment that allows their woman to be submissive to them? You want openness, you want vulnerability. How do you get a woman to do that and continue to stay that way?
I'm gonna turn that back to y'all. How do we do that?
Oh, we could say it till we blue in the face, but I feel like it takes for a man to hear it from another man to feel like it's game. Because I feel like when a woman says it, it's just...
All right, so y'all say what it is, and I'm gonna let y'all know if these are realistic expectations or if y'all a little delude. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Well, honestly, I feel like if you want a woman to be open, you want her to be vulnerable, allow her to be that. No judgment. No, don't fight against that. Do you get what I'm saying? Allow her to have her moments of like being able to, for example, like come to you and cry or come to you and feel a way without you one day then saying, yeah, because I know you a little sensitive, or because then it's going to make me think like, okay, so in those moments, now you view me as being sensitive, where I'm just like, how I feel. You get what I'm saying? Or, well, you said you don't do it, but sometimes you can have those situations where you guys are arguing back and forth, and something I said to you in confidence and opening up to you and being soft and vulnerable, now you're spewing back to like shoot as a dagger. So it's like,
if you're talking to somebody like that, that's the disrespect that I'm talking about, where you shouldn't be in it, you shouldn't be in it. Mm-hmm. Because if you're going to be vulnerable, if you're with someone and you're going to be vulnerable in that aspect where you're running to him for your comfortability and it gets thrown back in your face, mm-hmm. you're comfortable with the wrong person. Mm-hmm. Literally. You're being vulnerable to somebody who literally isn't ready for what you're trying to get. Like, in those moments where you want to be soft and you want to be vulnerable and be submissive, mm-hmm. you can't be submissive to someone that literally isn't ready for you to be submissive either. You can sit there and, this made me feel this type of way. And then if you let them know that something like that made them feel a type of way and they get defensive about it, mm-hmm. they're not ready to be in that relationship. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be getting defensive. Now, the only way I feel like as a man where you get defensive about something is if you tell me you felt some type of way about something and the way you presented it came off disrespectful. But still, if it came off disrespectful, that's where communication comes in. Like, I understand how that could have made you feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Apologies always mean a lot. I won't do it again, or I'll work on it, or whatever it is. You're showing a team. Once again, that's a 50-50 thing. Even when it comes to conversation, 50-50 don't just come with cleaning the house and working jobs. That comes in communication as well. If y'all aren't communicating to the point where, like I said, if you wanting to be vulnerable to the point you could run to the man and this made me feel type of way, or even if it's something that he didn't do or whatever, he's like, if you felt some type of way about something that he didn't do, if you come and tell him about it and then he you shouldn't have felt no type of way about that was about nothing. Nah, you're confiding in him in that moment. His job is to listen. When he listens, is with no judgment. Okay, this is what you're talking about. If it has to do with somebody else, he can talk to you about that person, let you know, maybe that person isn't your friend. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that person, maybe you misunderstood them, or maybe I'll go talk to that person. You try to figure out a solution for whatever that problem is.
Mm-hmm. Teach a masterclass, Lija. You want us to help you put together a masterclass for these niggas?
This has taken growth. This has taken growth. Like, I've been through a lot. I've done things that I was young and dumb. I'm not going to act like I'm the most perfect person out here. I'm not. To this day, I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I try to fix as many things that I've done wrong. And there's even a boundary with that. We didn't even get on boundaries, and we were pushing for time. But there's boundaries with that. Like, there's so many. You have to respect boundaries. Yours and his and hers. Mm-hmm. Yours and his and hers. Mm-hmm. You gotta respect the boundaries. Like, there's so many different things that come with all of that. I kind of lost my track because I was looking at the time. I'm sorry, yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna do another one, so, and hopefully Isaiah is going to be here.
I know. I'm so mad he didn't show up today. I'm still going to at him on Instagram. I'm gonna let him know he should have showed up because I know he has done a lot of growing too.
Mm-hmm.
I have been speaking to him about certain things. You know, I'm not gonna put his life out there, but I spoke to him about a lot of things, and man to man, that's my bro. Love him to death. Just he's been through enough where he's making decisions as a man now, going through what he's gone through and the mistakes that he's made and he's learned from, and just ready for that next step in life. But we gonna let him clarify all that himself.
Yeah, cause he coming.
Yeah, he's gonna have great input as well. But yeah, like I said, all this is taking growth. I've been through a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes that when I was young I ain't proud of. It is what it is. So it's like,
I just want the men who do listen in to take away one thing. So if we was your niggas, he was like, bro, I'm trying to get this shorty, like, she just so tough, like, I want her to break her wall, like, how do I get her to soften up, how do I get her to submit? What would you tell us?
It depends. Like, every girl is different. You gotta figure out what she do, like what she don't like. You gotta figure out what you doing wrong, what you not doing wrong. Like, it might just be her. She might have been through a lot, and it's like, whatever it is that she been through, you're gonna have to find a way
to meet her,
to show that you're not the same as the last, but whoever it was that damaged her, or not to call her damaged, but you know, whatever that she been through that has her thinking defensive so high to make, like, you know what, like, I don't want to go through this again. You got to find a way around it where it's like, I bet, what can I do to show that I'm here for real, or that I'm not just here to have fun, like, because that's what everyone's doing these days. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just trying to have fun with it, da 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 da. No one's being like real friends first. They just jumping into it. You know what, like, this what you want to do, this the vibe. I bet I'm with the vibe. Like, yeah, a lot of people be missing out on good friendships off the strength of they just want to
be in a relationship.
Not even be in a relationship, just do whatever it is that they doing. Like, oh yeah, like this what it's about. Let's go out to eat. For me, let's go back and watch Netflix. Like, you miss out on good people because of you thinking so small. You get what I'm saying? Like, being small-minded. Once that's done and open, it's like you moving on to the next person. But back to what you're saying, because I off track. I just feel like you have to learn that person, and you're not gonna learn that person in a day, in a week. She's not gonna open up straight to you right then and there. You gotta give it time.
You can't force.
So it's not something from a guy. It's not something that should be expected from day one.
For her to be completely open to you and vulnerable, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And you gotta expect the same from men, because there's girls out here who do men dirty too. And it's like, he might be. A lot of times men tell you like, oh, I'm not looking for nothing serious, because he probably been through something with a female that made him feel like, you know what, I'm not beat. You feel me? Like, nah, fuck all that. Like, I ain't with it. Same thing. She gotta be, what did he go through? Like, everything is about openness. Everything. If you want to really be with somebody in the aspect of where you believe you really want a relationship, you have to listen. You have to pay attention. Like, I'm bad at paying attention. I'll forget your favorite color. I'm telling you right now.
Not T shaking her head.
I will forget your favorite color in a heartbeat.
But I think I think when it comes to small things like that, a lot of men just be like,
for us is not. I'm sorry. For us is not that important. I'm not gonna remember your favorite color, but I am gonna remember what food you like.
Because if you see something, you're gonna be like, dang, which color was she like? It would be. I'm gonna
remember your favorite meal. I'm gonna remember your favorite place to travel to. I'm gonna remember.
But those are little things that you just said you don't remember. Those are the little things we talk about.
Your middle name. Your last name gonna be mine, so.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I'm gonna remember all that stuff. Like, but your favorite color ain't happening. If I gotta be somewhere at a certain time, you're gonna have to remind me. Like, I forget a lot of small stuff, and I think that's just also because I'm just so busy. Like, if I wasn't so busy, still trying to grind to get where I want to be, I probably pay attention a lot more to a lot of stuff.
Elijah need an intern secretary, by the way, y'all. So if anybody want to be an intern, he need it, because I have to text him 5 million times.
I put my phone on do not disturb. I just unlocked it. I got clients hitting me up right now. The video that you made, I can't post. Why can't you? Because it's giving them some type of, with the music and everything. They more strict about the damn music than gun laws, but we ain't gonna get there. Okay. Can't post the video because of.
Well, this was a good conversation.
Good starter.
Yes, because it is definitely to be continued.
I told you I came to tussle.
But before you go, we ask new guests one question at the end of every episode, and that is, what is your definition of living a life of luxury?
I feel like living a life of luxury is living a life of peace.
Yes.
Living a life of peace.
Hey.
I like that.
Peace is everything.
I like that.
And it could come in so many different ways. Like some people peace can be mentally. Some people peace could be their home. It could be their kids. It could be whatever. It could be something like a not. Whatever your peace is your peace. My peace is mentally. I'm all about great vibes. I'm all about friendships. I don't like any bad. I'm not gonna say I'll cut somebody off with bad vibes. They might be going through something, but if your energy is off, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm all about good vibes. If somebody's going through something, you can talk to me in a heartbeat. If that's gonna make you find your peace, I'm very open to speaking to people. I have people call me all the time when they're going through stuff. I don't know if this might be fun, but I have people call me all the time when they're going through stuff, and I always try to have an open ear, whatever. And I don't feel like that's a burden to me. Whereas you're telling me about your problems, keep my ear open. Okay, let's talk about it. How'd you get in that situation, or how do you want to get out of it? I'm never trying to pressure you to make any decisions either. Where oh, you shouldn't have did that. Da, da, da. Open ear, completely open. I'm not going to advise you on anything. Everything's gonna be questioned. Okay, how you feel about it? It's more like a therapy session for free for my friends. But yeah, it's definitely peace.
Well, there you have it, folks. And I'm glad you said that. There was no prompting from Tisha and I as far as answering that question, but that's definitely what we go for. We want people to think of a life of luxury as something so much deeper than being famous or having a big circle or having money or having the glitz and the glams. Peace is what we mean by living a life of luxury.
Peace will change everything from the questions that you're asking about kids and the drugs and all of that would change all of that. That goes into relationships, all of that. Being a man, being a black man, being just the world in general. It would change a lot. That's luxury.
Well, we thank you.
You guys.
We thank you for taking a break behind the camera and joining us up here.
Can't wait to do it again.
I had a lot to say behind that camera. Y'all had to see me back there. I was making faces like,
little comments.
I should really see his facial expression sometimes. We're looking at us like, what are you talking about? I don't agree.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We definitely want to hear from y'all. Y'all got some questions y'all want us to keep expanding upon. Let us know. But everything is love and light, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.